you started to really make waves within the 49er organization. Your teammates called you Murky. You know, please explain to the audience.
Oh, that's Steve Wallace.
That was him.
Steve Wallace, offensive lineman for us. He's a Atlanta, Georgia boy, and he'd get on those Murky. Like he stretch it out and that type of thing, and he came up with this name, if I remember correctly. He said, you know, I'd be kind of lurking in the back
in the waters,
and you're not sure when it pops up.
That's
and
right, dangerous
that
waters.
Type of thing. It's kind of murky back there. I don't know. I can't quite see what's going on. So it's one of those nicknames that's you know, it's easy play off of my first name, so it's stuck with me.
Yes, indeed, Murky Waters. Wow,
that's it. You got good research going.
Oh, all right. Well, no, it's the least I can do, you know, for sure to have you on the show.
Research going on.
And now the disappointment of losing, because the Dallas Cowboys. Coincidentally, the team, you know, the local team of yours when you were in your grade school years and high school years, but they were starting to build a dynasty themselves in the early 90s, and the disappointment of losing 2 straight NFC championship games to them. Talk about what the 49er organization did, including the players and the front office, to make sure that the next season, that 94 season, the Niners are ready to take back their throne.
I think it was a palatable sense of professional desperation. The Dallas Cowboy organization, I have to give them credit from probably 1990, probably through 93. Man for man, they probably had some of the strongest teams that have been in the league quite a long time. I mean, they had starting caliber players on their second and third team that would be starters elsewhere. Tremendous depth, tremendous breadth to their team. And Eddie DeBartolo really laid down the edict of, we're going to do what we need to do to be the first to win 5 Super Bowls, because that was the race.
That's right. That's right.
So to speak. And we were to a point where we had been to 2 NFC championship games in a row. Steve Young was at a point where he needed to win a Super Bowl.
A lot of people questioning him.
He needed to win a Super Bowl.
Joe Montana was the cat winning the bowl games, getting there, and Steve,
So and you know, he was at that point. He was clearly our quarterback. We had traded Joe to Kansas City at the time, and it was all hands on deck because all of our futures were tied together. We were literally playing for our jobs, and there was. But it wasn't in a malicious sort of way. It was in a matter-of-fact way. Because, like anything else, if you prove you keep running into this and you can't get over it in a sporting sense, we need to dismantle and figure out a different way to do it. And so,
destroy and rebuild.
We were able to get it right first time out.
That's right.
Which is a good thing.
That's right. Acquiring Ricky Jackson for that D-line, you know, and also of course Deion Sanders coming in for 1 season, you know. And I think personally that was the greatest secondary ever, with you, Deion Sanders, Tim McDonald, strong safety, and Eric Davis at the other cornerback position. That secondary was just very deep.
we have a running debate. We had a gathering of all the Super Bowl champions from the 49ers gathered in Las Vegas for a celebration. This is probably about 6 months or so.
Oh, wonderful.
7 months ago. So we had a running debate. It's not even a debate, an argument with the then 1981 defensive back group, which, you know, I have to give them the nod just because of their relative youth. They had Dwight Hicks, who was the Pro Bowler at safety, but they basically started 3 rookies.
Wow.
And you have Ronnie Lott and Eric really should have went. I mean, just Carlton Williams and great player, and they had great role players. Well, I'm of the opinion of you that year. I always tease Deion all the time. We see each other quite a bit. That year was the best year he ever had as a player, and it was the best year I ever had as a player. It was the best year Tim McDonald ever had as a player. It was the best year Eric Davis ever had as a player, and that didn't mean it reflected in the stats, but everybody did what they needed to do on an extremely high level. And when you look on film years later, it wasn't duplicated.
Right.
I'd take that secondary. We didn't have a lot of pass rush. We had good players.
Because Charles Haley wasn't there anymore.
Charles and Ricky was, we had adequate rush, but there were times we'd be watching film and 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. Well, you give an NFL quarterback 6 seconds to throw, he's usually going to complete, and we were making plays, interceptions, that type of
closing in time.
Just tremendous. There was no, the best compliment I heard from our peer group about not only that secondary, but that team, and an example I give to colleges when I go to visit and give talks. That team had either a Pro Bowl player or All-Pro player or a potential Hall of Fame player at every position, every starting position, and in some places too deep. So you couldn't get hurt because you might not see the field again.
Right.
And you had to play at a high level, because if you don't, well, I've got another Pro Bowler right over here. Let's give him the shot at it since you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So between that and the threat of a very dominant Dallas Cowboy group waiting out there that you knew you were going to meet sooner or later, everyone's level of play was heightened considerably.
Wow. Chicken dance. I saw YouTube footage of Monday Night Football against the Eagles. Talk about where that originated from, because it's funny when I read it.
Watching me and the girls when they were young, got 2 girls, Maya and Milan, who you obviously met, watching Bert and Ernie do the Sesame Street thing, and so I kind of messed around from their bedroom to the backyard to the practice field, and ended up on the field.
Nice, because I remember, and the neck too. Your neck.
I do a better job of hiding that. I tried to a little bit with big collars.